Hey, do you want to shut my door? Hello, hello.
Oh, hello.
How are you there?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Good, good, good. Oh, here they come. They're pouring in. Welcome, welcome. Are we on your phone there? Okay. Hello,
Yeah.
Tarzan, Annie, Cindy, Carla. Woohoo!
Looks like if you turn it sideways.
Lanny.
Привет.
Oh,
There we go.
there you go.
Better?
Lanny, you wearing a flannel shirt? Is it cold over there? Yes. Hello, Carla.
I'm into an antelope.
Ooh. Ooh.
So I'm cutting up our antelope. I'm wrapping our steaks.
Are you? Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yummy.
Hi, Cindy.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, this is Carla.
Hello, Carla. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. I'm excited. Tom's back in the USA. I don't know if he's napping. We'll see if he comes on. Hello, Miss Peggy. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
All right, I got these fancy little head things that Tom got me.
Oh,
Yeah, they're very cool. I'm gonna charge them up here. Very, very cool.
Tom ever find his money lost?
I don't think so. I know, I'm trying to have this real, thing about putting them back into the little container and making sure that I create a habit. So what I do is when I see something, I want to create a habit so that I can do it in a way that, I avoid those other things. Just like leaving my billfold at the office the other night.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to the airport, no driver's license. Hello, Miss Pamela. Hello, Robin. Yep. But I made it.
Oof, got here just under the gun.
Just under the gun. All right. Let me, I don't know, did anybody know if Tom's phone is working again?
Look what I got.
Ooh, what's that? What's that?
This is my 65 and a wake up graduation present.
Oh, how cool.
Isn't that pretty?
Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. Okay, wait, I got to put you on the big screen here. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm sure everybody's going to be getting theirs. This
Yeah.
is so cool. So what does it say? Oh.
Can you read it? Is it backwards or
Thought
can
I
you
would
read
try and connect.
I can read it. I can read it.
it?
You like it?
I think
I love it. Oh my gosh, it just came today. I just got home and I just got it. A beautiful card with a thoughtful.
I wrote the card. How do you like my handwriting in that card? Aren't I good at writing?
You have such lovely handwriting. I almost think it was effeminate,
I am such a feminine handwriter.
Yes, you are. Oh my gosh, I see that you guys are getting burnt out by my window. Let me go close the curtain. I'll be right back.
you're nice and bright. That's good. Welcome back, Tommy.
Wow, I'm back. I had a lot of fun. Everybody, I'm hoping, is happy to see me. And yeah, I just slept for about 3 hours here this afternoon. And
You don't have your onesie on.
Welcome home, weary traveler.
I know it. Yeah, so let's give this guy 1 more minute and we'll get going. I can see so many people. This is so exciting.
Yeah.
Marianne, start your muting skills.
All righty, let's get this going.
They call her Marianne the Mute.
Oh, I think you were muted. We couldn't hear you.
Oh, Never, ever, ever possible.
So tell me, does it feel like your face is sliding off the front of your skull with the time zone change?
No.
Really?
Nah, it's a
You're
cake.
good.
He is
When
so
I-
good. He is so good at this.
When I lived in Hong Kong, it was like it would kill me, and I was like 18, like young.
That's called You're a Girl.
I'm a girl.
All right, so let's get this show on the road. I start muting away, Marianne. And hello, everybody. Denise will be here in a couple of minutes, I think. Let me give you a fast recap of the trip because I think it was worth the time and worth you hearing about. It was an extraordinary trip. Normally, when I go on the road, I hate to break it to you, but it is not like this one. I am like not working. I like have a meeting and then it's 3 or 4 days. We see the city and then we go. Sean Brown has now been to Australia and New Zealand, and he never got out of any hotel except in Christchurch. And that's a beautiful little city that had those 2 huge earthquakes right in the center of it. So I insisted that he go out to dinner with me, and we walked around, and he got to see the fact that earthquake has, even though it's many, many years later, it is still just unbelievable, the destruction that went down there. And it's a lot like the flooding going on. It's like the fires going on. I am telling you, pray for these people because it is horrible long after the news teams leave. And so that's that simple. A couple of things. Hanny Sly and her husband. She lost her husband last week.
Thomas.
And then, what? And then
His name is Thomas. Sorry.
Oh, I thought I was in trouble.
No. Sorry, honey.
Oh my God, what did I do now? And then Janice Lane, a great distributor of ours, just got a malignant tumor and it took over and she died a couple of days ago, I see. And so I was with Ken Smith down in Australia, and a lot of his friends have had cancer and have got cancer. And I think about Brian Baum, and I think about all the people that have been able to beat this battle with cancer. Ken beat cancer, and I think of the ones that haven't. And I've got to tell you, if it's cancer, if it's weight, if it's anything, if it's rheumatoid arthritis, you guys are doing such incredibly important work. And remember that. Remember that because it is a life and death deal. And I'm in my 60s now. I'm 66 years old. When I was 30, 40, even 50, I wasn't really that present to this conversation called you're going to get a little older and all that stuff's going to come creeping in on you and you better be on your heads and toes. But man, I'll tell you, when you get into your mid-60s, 2 things happen. One, you really start paying attention to those vitamins and minerals. And number 2, you kind of pay attention to the old Bible. I mean, you know, whatever it is that floats your boat spiritually. I think this book here by Bob Beaudine's a good friend of mine. It's called 2 Chairs. One of them's got you in it, and one of them's got Jesus or God or your higher power, whatever that's all about in that chair. But on my desk here, there's 2 pretty spiritual books here because I'll tell you, I'm present to those 2 things, really, really present to it. As I cough, tell a joke, Marianne.
Please tell a joke. What was that? Somebody, okay. Are you back? Okay. Okay. Unmute. There you go.
Okay. So anyway, that just ran through my brain. I don't know why I thought about that and interrupted what I was talking about going on down in Australia, New Zealand. You guys down in Australia, New Zealand, they are trying to do what you guys are doing with about, if you guys are playing with a deck of cards, they're playing with about 20. And it isn't easy for them down there. Their websites don't work very well. The customer service to the previous they're really working on that. But I'll tell you what, to listen to those guys and their belief in Dr. Wallach and the message, with all the other companies down there that they could join, it just reinforces to me that we've got something special here. And you guys are something special that you'll put up with websites not working. You'll put up with things not being announced on a timely basis. You'll put up on about so many things because our products are so good and what we're doing is so important. And don't lose that. I get to thinking about how this business was when I got in it. And, it was hard to complain about the websites in the old days when I was first getting started because there were no websites. It was hard to complain about, email links not being able to send Dead Doctors Don't Lie over like on the health challenge thing, because there was, we had great big tape players, then they got to be small tape players, then they got to be CDs, same things with the DVDs. They were beta cassettes, and it was a mess. It is a lot, even though it's hard and it's frustrating at times, it's not anywhere near as hard or anywhere near as frustrated as it used to be. And that doesn't mean I'm going to let up on anybody about not making it better for you, not making things work better for you. That's my goal. So the name of the game, I'm reading your comments to make sure I'm on top of it. The name of the game is don't you guys stop. Don't you stop at all. And I'm seeing all of you in 65 and a wake up. And I'm wondering about your follow-up. Is the follow-up working for you? And are you having a tough time doing the follow-up? So have you guys ever heard of Millionaire's Bacon? Anybody ever heard of it? One person. Anybody ever heard of Millionaire's Bacon? Raise your hand.
Millionaire.
Okay, but there's somebody that's heard of it. Millionaire Bacon. What's it all about, baby?
I just heard about it today.
How about the dog on the screen? Somebody's got a dog. In between, Cindy Malone is driving, and her sidekick. They have got that poor dog. How would you like to, if you do not want to come back in their life as their dog?
I think I might.
No. They make that poor dog watch these 65 and a wake up deals. That's worse than my little buddy Emily happened to do it. That is so cute. Unbelievable.
Hilarious.
Robert, you're flipping us off with your finger.
Okay, so God, Tom, you can you tell that he just got off a plane? He's
I
like
have been so lonely. I'm
all
looking at
over the place. Can you stay on one thought? What about that?
Millionaire
You wanna talk
Bacon.
about the bacon?
What about the Millionaire
Talk
Bacon?
about New Zealand.
I want to talk about the Millionaire Bacon.
Okay, let's go there.
What is it?
I don't know. I just learned about it. It was something about you bake the bacon with some like maple syrup and a little chili pepper. So it has a sweet, sour, spicy deal. I don't
Really?
know.
That's what it is. Okay, don't move. Okay. So you're all getting up every morning and you're thinking, golly, Nats, I'm calling you accidentally on my phone, Denise.
Yes, I see that.
I even forgot how to dial a phone, you guys. That's how long I've been gone. Okay, watch this.
Hey, let me just say though,
Paul Roberts. Go ahead.
I was going to say that everybody who has achieved 65 days, I'm mailing the last 2 canvases out, but everybody other than,
Look at Pamela's screen.
yay!
Hey, Paul.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I am great, thank you. Just driving down past Oxford Road.
I was thinking about you today after we left your restaurant on that Millionaire Bacon.
Yeah.
Have you heard about all these new spices from Longevity?
I haven't.
Oh my God, you are gonna flip out. This stuff is frightening. It's delicious. We might even have a little party here at the house, but I'll bring some by. But we ought to try making some of that Millionaire Bacon with our spices and really change the world, don't you think?
I couldn't agree more.
All right, man. You have made my point. You're on a conference. You are on a conference call. I don't care if you ever have any of that bacon. I hate you. No, I'm kidding.
How do I get some of the spices to make that bacon?
I don't know. I'll check tomorrow.
I ordered a bunch.
Oh, Denise just said she ordered a bunch for you.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
Done deal.
For him, she ordered them.
For me, I
Wow.
ordered
How do you like that? Now you see what I mean? Every time you turn around, if you're just being interested in people, there's a follow-up that shows up on something. He brought up the Millionaire Bacon. He and Denise are acting like they're Julia Child and Chef Jose. And all I could think of was how to get our spices. When he said spices, my antenna went up. When somebody says they've got anything, my antenna goes up. Come on, use your ears and I didn't mention it right there on the spot, because what would I have been? I would have been a hypocrite, because I would have been doing everything I tell you guys not to do. So I was so tempted, because I was so in the conversation and I'm so into cooking, that I so desperately wanted to say something about the spices. But did I? No. Denise.
Oh, do you keep seeing me like wanting to say something?
Yes.
So why don't you share about being down in New Zealand and Australia, and about the party, the Colleen's, the way they did parties and what you learned from that.
Okay, so So Saturday we're going to bring in Colleen Walters.
I know, but not all these people will be there.
Really? We're not going to stream it?
Well, we might, yeah. I guess we'll probably stream it, but I'm saying that's like 4 hours as opposed to give me like a 5-minute Cliff Note version.
Okay, so here's the deal about that. I have told you guys that the most important thing in network marketing is following this program of enrollment. And the way that it goes is you have a one-on-one, then you have a home meeting, then you have a weekly meeting, then you have a monthly training, all that jazz. And the home meeting's kind of fallen by the wayside. And I don't know if any of you guys know anybody from Unique or any of these companies that are doing all these online meetings all the time and killing it, because everybody loves these online meetings and everybody puts their makeup on together and all the jazz. Well, I wasn't a huge believer in that until I got down to, because that's a party plan, and I've never been a big fan of the party plans, because the party plans are not really network marketing, because they only pay about 3 levels deep. And I'm a network marketer. I want to I want to do a meeting. I want to have a party. I want those people to enroll. And when they enroll, I want them to go on auto ship. And when they go on auto ship, I want that to be in that matrix called our unilevel. And I want them to be a customer for life. That isn't the way party plans work. And it's bothered me ever since we had party plan versus network marketing inside of Youngevity a little bit, because I was afraid I was sending out a mixed message. And what Sean Brown and Colleen have done in this social selling conversation that has evolved into basically a hybrid between network marketing and the party plan, whereby people come to these parties, there's some free party product given out, things like that. But at the end of the day, what's really, really cool is these people are excited about these parties. I mean, it is unbelievable. And with these spices that are like $12 SKUs, these people can come to those parties and walk out with something no matter what. And the average number is over $200 that people spend. And it's not uncommon for everybody to spend $500 at a party. And I'll tell you, I have seen it. I've seen it in action. They completely changed the way we did things down in Auckland, New Zealand, and in, where was the last place we were? Brisbane. I mean, it was astounding the way those people locked onto it and how well it worked. And I just want you guys to know it's something you could do. And we're going to get her on here. We're going to stream her training on Saturday at the training center. There are going to be a zillion people, and you're going to really get to know what it's all about. But the name of the game is making these parties fun, which everybody wants to have fun, have them be profitable, which everybody wants to have happen, and have it be something that's kicking people into a residual income conversation, which is even bigger. So those 3 components, Lorette Willis, if she's on here, has anybody seen her yet?
No, I don't know. Did you ever say something about youngevitysocial.com?
No, and no.
That's
myyoungevitysocial.com.
My Youngevity Social. That's it. Yes.
Yes.
Unmute Kelsey and Wendy.
There you go.
Can of worms. Let's just talk to somebody. You guys.
The cool thing about the spices too is that what I love about them is that it's like almost dollar for dollar BV to QV. That's great.
And this woman is insanely good. This Wendy is not her name. It's Colleen. And she is unbelievable. So, hey, Kelly Saunderson, how are you doing? She is live from Brisbane, Australia. Oh my gosh, you are incredible. And you have built a dynasty doing this hybrid conversation that Colleen is talking about. You had over 8,000 people in your organization. You just came aboard with the Spice Company. You are an amazing woman. I got to meet your cute husband. Tell us what you think of these things in 5 minutes.
Because for the spices specifically, it's everybody eats. So it's a great introduction. Like, I have had health and wellness people come to me previously, and I had like total resistance. I was like not interested whatsoever. However, being on the longevity products, like I would never have tried them if I hadn't have come on with the spices first. So it opens the conversation up with everybody because it's a universal product. But what was great, and what I just typed into the chat, training on Sunday was like the puzzle pieces all just fit for me finally, and clicked. And what we've been discussing is even at socials, because they're like, it's a low price point for the spices, for QV and things like that, and for the host rewards, which is all the benefits, to actually be talking about the clubs and setting up the auto ships as their, like, as part of the party as well, so that you're generating that residual income from the party straight away, reducing the amount of follow-up as well.
Yeah. And how did you like you and I just met, and that was emotional in its own way, because you guys, I just met her and I had her in the front row sobbing, which was great. But other than that, how did it go Saturday with you finally met us, we kind of met you. How did that all feel for you?
It was fantastic. We were in Dallas. Well, I was in Dallas. Matt didn't come to that for convention, and just to be welcomed there. But then to have that backed up with you guys traveling down and giving us your time, huge, massive validation, and that we've made the right decision. There's a lot of us with some baggage. So.
That's so funny. All right. Well, we love you. Carry on. You guys, Saturday. Yeah. And there is a customs issue, Robert, on a couple of the spices, but God bless longevity, because I saw an email where they announced that they actually had a customs issue, and everybody knows where they're held up, and they're getting through. There's a woman involved with it on the shipping side that is incredible. They are really making things happen down in Australia, New Zealand. If you know anybody there that you want to build a business with, I feel very comfortable that they're going to get treated like $1 million down there, and that makes me extremely happy. So they're getting products. They've probably got 200 or 300 products down there now. So they are not way behind the times. They're just a little behind the times, website and customer service wise and communication wise, but they are catching up fast. So any of you people that are trying to build businesses down there, it is your time. Going back to 65 and a wake up, I want to talk about that a little bit more, because I can see that you people are filling the pipeline incredibly well. And I know so many of you have hundreds of people in your organization, in your lead file now. I want to make sure I'm helping you with that follow-up conversation, whereby you are just, all of a sudden you're doing it just like I did Paul Roberts right there, where he's my friend. He owns a restaurant. It was fun. He got to do that, and he will buy some spices. But when you start developing relationships, it's just a conversation. I can do that with literally anyone on this call almost. I know most of you well enough that I could follow up on anything in your life a little bit like you'd want to buy it, because I know so much about you. And the reason I say that is that's all you're doing from the interview, is getting enough touch points to be able to follow up with people, not saying the same old thing, but it is a fact that you have to follow up at least 5 to 7 times in order for you to get the sale. And almost everybody, 45% of everybody, quits after 1. And if you can look at yourself and ask yourself really, really straight, when you quit, it's usually after one. My hat's off to Marianne Niehaus. She's really, really good at follow up and staying on top of people and constantly coming at them with a different or from a different direction. Another thing that that a lot of you might have is a lot of product laying around as a result of these triple QV things and all the various promotions that Youngevity's got. And I watched Colleen do so many drawings down there and give away so much product. And it wouldn't be hard to do virtual drawings for people doing things right on Facebook and various places where you were actually, if you've got too much product sitting on your shelf, you might be able to give it to people that are doing right behavior. So think about that too, you guys, because this is your chance. And watching what's happening out there, watching these people down in Australia and New Zealand really get the crux of the coffee shop interview, really get the crux of 65 and a wake up, and understanding that this is their way to do their business the way that they want to do it, because this whole thing doesn't contradict Luis Ariasa. It doesn't contradict Mike Battistelli or anybody else. It fits right on top of what they're already doing. So Scott Fardulis is going to be in love with it, all those people. So participate, play it bigger than you've ever played it, and keep filling that pipeline. It warmed my heart. I think it was either Debbie Kravik or Darlene Hopkins this morning talked about just how many people they have now in their pipeline and how many leads they've got. And it's just not chasing that same person, afraid they're going to say no anymore. They've been doing 2 a day for long enough now that they've got them running out of their ears. And that's pretty cool. Denise, do you have anything?
No, I'm just I'm so excited because I'm just jotting down everybody who's in their 40 plus days and 50 plus days, because I'm trying to keep on top of these canvases, and it's just so exciting. I get to the list. I mean, I have like 5 people already there in their 45 plus days, so it's just awesome.
And you take a look at Kelsey Britton, or you take a look at Peggy Gleason, or Hanny. I mean, these are people that are, Ann Parker, I opened up a can of worms now. I'm just thinking of people that, obviously Pamela Schwartz and Roxana. Think about that. Not that plaque is kind of nice. In fact, show that up, put Pamela on here so she can just show those people what comes. So Pamela, talk about that a little bit. And turn it to the side so they can see it. Yeah, there you go. So that's a canvas that Denise made in Snap to Finish. And so the goal, there you go. The goal is...
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It says, "The things you are passionate about are not random. They are your calling," by Fabian Fredrickson. It says, "Pamela, congratulations on achieving 66 straight days. You are extraordinary. Now you have graduated. See you at GoPro. Love, Tom and Denise." And then a thoughtful note of "Everyone is built to be great. Action determines the rest." And then a little personal note on the inside. Just precious, precious, precious to me. So thank you. Thank you. And by the way, can I bring up one other thing?
Yeah.
Okay. What you were saying about the 5 to 12 interactions that need to happen for someone to actually dive in my reading this month of Og Mandino, The Greatest Salesman in the World, one of the things that he says, "No longer do I judge a man on one meeting. No longer do I fail to call again tomorrow on he who meets me with hate today. This day he does not buy gold chariots for a penny, yet tomorrow he exchanges his home for a tree. My knowledge of this secret is my key to great wealth."
Nice.
Doesn't that give you the chills?
Yeah.
It gives you chills. And, Ken Smith is an Uber driver. And so he's got 1,000 different powerful recommendations from people that have written nice things to him about the way he handled his Uber ride. And he wasn't doing what Cindy Malone and John Funk are doing. And all of a sudden it clicked with him that Uber is the most, hey, Marianne, if you get a chance, would you text Sean Brown and see if he'll come on this call? We should have him talk about our Uber experiences because they were so funny and so over the top. And incredibly effective. Being in the back seat of an Uber car is a great place to interview. I can't even imagine being in the front seat, being able to control the conversation, needing a little more time and accidentally making a left turn, all that. I mean, I would be the greatest Uber driver in the world. I'd get fired probably in a week, but that would be one of my most glorious weeks of my life. I just wish Denise would let me use the Tesla and let me go do it. It would be hysterical. That would be my goal in my life.
No way, Jose. You can use a Jeep. Go knock yourself out. I don't care.
I would, but it's got a dead battery. So I look at my good every one of you guys.
How about the Vitacar? Would that work?
The Vitacar would be unbelievable.
You'd have to give it. It has no seat. It has no passenger seatbelt, so the ride would have to be free.
Plus, I think I would have to go pick them up every time the dang thing wouldn't start.
Other than that, the Vitacar would be great. So, yeah, but you know what? I like my car breaking down for one reason and one reason only. It creates conversation again. Everything is an opportunity to connect with humans. And here's the truth of the matter. I went down to New Zealand. I wasn't with Denise. I was with Sean and Colleen for a lot of days straight. It was hysterical. On Sunday, we got done. On Monday, I went with Ken Smith and with Elaine, and we talked to some people, but it wasn't the same. And I didn't know anybody, and I knew I was running out of people to know, and I came immediately home. I didn't have to come home today, but you're my people, and my people in my town are my people. And no matter how introverted we are, what we've got going on, we all need people. And I love the fact that I've got you guys. You've changed my life. It's unbelievable. Colleen, Rick, you've done an unbelievable job too out there on 65 and a Wake Up. I want you to know that you're changing the face of the company. That Rev 90 thing on the weight loss is out of sight. I hope you're doing that. They kind of used our model where Sanjeev and Juliet and Scott are commenting literally on everybody's post, telling them to keep going and make it great. Positive reinforcement is all it is. Interspersed with a tiny bit of coaching, and we win. But going back into my reason for this whole call is because I was worried about the follow-up a little bit, about you being paralyzed to what to say. I think I got that across to you. And then enrolling big leaders. Don't go there yourself. I don't know why you keep doing that, but I want you to use a three-way call when you're trying to build a business, bring a business builder into your business. And if you need to use me, that's great. Jeff Barassa does. I mean, pick up the phone and call or text me and say, Pat Kendall sent me a text a little while ago. I need the coffee shop interview, Paul, in an email. Pat Kendall, in an email. Let's talk about that. When I do a three-way call for you, I want you to send me the coffee shop interview in an email, not a text. And on the subject line of the email is the guy's name. And there's two reasons for it. One, it's locked in. And two, I can find it if I'm moving 10,000 miles an hour and you're telling me I've got to be on the phone, I can immediately find it. Okay, so then
So you're saying the prospect's name on the subject line, correct?
Yes, Denise, and his interview in the body. Does that make sense?
Totally. I was just making sure.
Okay, then you hit send. Okay, you have to do all three of those. And then you text me. And then you've already texted me and we set the time. And then you get me on the phone with the guy. And you have got, if it's me, if it's Pamela, if it's Denise, if it's Kelly Saunderson, if it's Emily, the little girl, if it's Glenda, I don't care who it is. You have got to know a great story about that person that your prospect is going to love. And you say, man, I'm telling you, I'm glad you called me on the phone. I've got Pamela Schwartz on this line, and she is a rock star. She's happily married. She's a very devout Christian. She lives down in Florida. She takes patients all day long. She's committed like crazy to the fact that she is helping wellness on everybody she knows and able to build a business at the same time. That's my conversation. And why? So that's my conversation to that prospect right there. Now you're saying, well, why didn't you say Pamela went to Harvard? Because my prospect wouldn't like that about Pamela. My prospect's going to like something else about Pamela. Why wouldn't you say that Pamela's lived all over the world? Because that isn't what my prospect wants to hear. I've got to powerfully relate Pamela to my prospect. So then Pamela's job, then on the other side of that is Pamela then my job, I'm all confused, is to make sure that I do the same thing with my prospect and edify my prospect so Pamela loves her to death verbally, but I've already got the interview on Pamela's desk, so she's got it in front of her, so she knows this prospect's blood type, so she's going to speak straight into the listening of the prospect instead of throw up on them like everybody else does. So the average three-way call is not very long at all because the tools do that work. Lots of times people call me up and say, you need to call this guy and explain to him about vitamins and minerals and colloidal silver and cetyl myristoyate and all that. I go, no, that's not my job. I don't even understand that stuff, and that's what the tools are for. I can't do that because I don't want to make a health claim or an income claim. We're going to let the tools do that. I'm going to speak straight into the life of the prospect and see if I can serve them that way. Does that make sense to you guys? So that's stage 2. There was a third stage, the follow-up. Oh, the third great thing, and Pamela, unmute your phone again. The third great thing that you're going to find by being in 65 and a wake up is how excited your team really is about doing this business and how proud you can show your team you are of them doing this business, how you can go with your leaders every inch of the way, and your leaders are going to rise to the top of this wall. And I was noticing that and tracking uplines and all that jazz, and I can kind of tell how well you're doing it here by how many of your leaders you're bringing in. So I'm kind of watching you for your follow-up, and I keep putting on the wall, tell me more about the follow-ups. I can kind of tell how you're talking about people in your business. You know, Adrian, you keep talking about that a couple of people, I can't remember, Chantel and I can't believe the other guy's name. I lost it. But so Pamela, isn't this working for like a charm for you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have 2 people on my team that are right here on the Zoom with us, Glenda Robinson and Colleen Keith and Emily Richter. And so, you know, when I say that I'm bringing in the team and promoting them to come in and do this, it's the whole point is doing it yourself and then teaching others to do the same. Duplication is necessary. And so you need to be able to show them how you have done it and then show them the way.
Right. Do you guys all understand that? It's such a logical thing. So, you know, Tarzan, I'm going right across the top run, right? Tarzan, Robert Essa, Carla Wynn, Lanny, Wendy, Jeff, Cindy. Think about where your leaders are. And at the end of the day, you're saying, well, my leaders aren't on here because I don't have any leaders. That's a great tell right there. That helps you. Don't think I'm mad at you because you don't have your leaders on here. Your leaders have to want to be on here. Now you got to look at yourself and say, how much did you really expose this to them to where it's important enough that they should be here? But think about that a little bit. What you want to do is have your leaders duplicating right behavior. So you want them doing what you're doing so they get what you've got. And I watch Lanny do that every week. She was out having a nip of wild turkey here for her birthday. I just saw she's back. And that's pretty good. Lanny, unmute.
Yes. What's up, buddy? I just love you, Tom. I'm so glad you're back.
You put that picture of your dear sweet mother, who I loved, up as your profile today, as I was very exhausted coming across from Australia, and it just made my day to see your mother. So first, I wanted you to know that. And number 2, I didn't ever realize until I saw that picture what a striking resemblance you have to your mom. And number 3, talk to us about your 65 and a wake up run, because how many days is she on, Denise? Like 21 or 22?
No,
30. I'm on 40. Today is 40. 40. 40, Tom.
Lanny, I'm not a stalker. So anyway, yeah. So how's it? And you had a tough time getting to 5. What's it like now?
Well, I went all the way to 14, and then I had to start over. So right now it's like do or die. You're not going to give up when you're on day 40. I'm telling you that for sure.
There you go.
And I don't care what you have to do. I mean, I make a lot of calls a day because we are in a very small town, and the people that I call are all over the country. And so I make a lot of calls during the day, and maybe I make 10 calls and 2 people will answer. So, you know, it just helps you to do something every single day.
Yeah.
That's the main thing with this whole thing. It's not about taking Friday and doing 300 calls. It's about doing 2 calls at least every single day, talking to 2 people.
And then
I love it.
Okay, so now you have 80 people on your list. And how's your follow-up? You're inundated with follow-up, right?
Yes, I keep following up every single day, and that's why I make more calls every day.
And talk to me about your leaders.
Oh, well, you mentioned Darlene and Debbie.
Yeah.
I mean, they're out there doing this every single day. It's so awesome. They're like on 45. Debbie, I think, is on 44 or 45. And Darlene is on 26 or something. She had to start over. And she's doing it. And she is not going to give up. And she, you know, they both are such loving, caring people that they just want to talk to people every single day and help somebody.
Isn't it wonderful to have that is what you have in common with your team? You're all striving together to make sure you got the interviews in the can. You're all striving together to, I keep putting myself up on the big screen and I don't like that.
And Sherry's out there in New Mexico doing it. And Cindy is down in Texas doing it. It's just so exciting to see everybody just take part in it. And there are some stalkers out there too that are watching.
Okay,
so that's exciting.
Okay, so talk to me about follow-up. Just because you're highly ranked, don't mute yourself. Just because you're highly ranked doesn't mean you don't make mistakes. So
every single day.
Sherry down in New Mexico sounds like a very interesting prospect. Tell me about leader. Is she a 1-star?
Yes, she's a 1-star heading for a 2-star.
And she's just a great woman.
Oh my gosh, she took a class in real estate because she's wanted to do that for 10 years.
Yeah.
And so she did that so she could get her license, and she met all these people and did CSIs with all of them. And, you know, that's the whole thing. She loves people. She loves helping them, but it's hard for her to not lead with the product because of what's happened and their story with the product. They love leading with the product.
I understand that. I would love to have that woman. I would have loved to have personally enrolled her. How did you get her?
Okay, so she contacted Tom Chenault. She messaged Tom Chenault. But where was Tom? Tom was in Russia. So he wasn't even in the United States, and he did not follow up with her. He did not answer that message. And so she called the company to find out who she could go with, and she didn't get anywhere there. She went online, she saw the flyer where we were doing a meeting down in Amarillo, Texas, a Super Saturday, and she called me because my number was on that flyer. And she called me and she said, well, I'm in Clovis, New Mexico. And then she told me the story. Well, she didn't quite then. She said, I'm in Clovis, New Mexico, and my husband's been using these products and I refuse to pay retail for them. I want to get in this business to buy these products. And I said, that's great. I've got a meeting tonight. Let me call you right after my meeting because it's earlier there than it is here. So after my meeting, it's like 9:30 or 10 o'clock here. I'm calling her in Clovis, New Mexico. She tells me the story about trying to find Tom Chenault. And so I said,
hey, let's be a little kinder and nicer and more gentle. Good. I mean, let's not. Can you say Tom Chenault a little harder? Tom Chenault.
Wait, let me tell you the best part of this whole thing.
We've already heard it.
She said, Lanny, the thing about this is I feel that God has brought you into my life and you're the one I'm supposed to be with. So dumb me, you know, I'm saying, well, okay, would you like to get in for 25 or what? Oh no, I want to come in at 500. And I'm like, yay! And then in 17 days, that woman became a 1-star. 17 days. And it was awesome. So thank you, Tom.
I'm trying to find my dagger. Isn't that a great story? So you guys,
I love that story.
I don't know if that could be more. It's just that's what it is. Somebody's going to get them. I mean, it's somebody's going to get these people. If you're going to wait till tomorrow. And I always hear, I'm looking for the perfect time. And that little guy in your voice, you always look at Denise does this. Oh no, I shouldn't have said that. I can't call them now. They're having dinner. I can't call them. They're having breakfast. I can't tell, and she'll tell you, I call people at 3 o'clock in the morning and they go, why are you calling? I go, why are you answering your phone? So it's hilarious. I'm sure there's a happy median, right, Annie?
It's always their fault for having their phone on.
It's hilarious. It's one of the funnest things of my life, but it works and it's fun and you got to have fun with it. And you got to believe I believe that everybody wants to talk to me. So it's just that simple. And if they don't, that's fine. I mean, you guys called me all week long, and it wasn't exactly, anybody that called me, I was in wherever I was and it was the middle of the night most of the time. And if I was awake, I picked up the phone if I wanted to talk to you. And if I didn't, I didn't pick it up. I've got control of that. But yeah, we all have a story about when people are having dinner and all this jazz, and you can't do that. Robin Tanner, how's it going for you, baby? Uh-oh, you're not. Is Robin Tanner muted? She's on. I can see you're not muted, Robin, but we can't hear you. Your mouth's moving. All right. Somebody else has a tremendous amount of noise coming in. I think we're going to get Sean Brown here in a minute too, which will be pretty funny. But I know this. I know this more than anything in my DNA is that everybody wants to be recognized. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to be understood. And they don't know that they need money, time, or health. That isn't what I'm trying to tell you. But I am going to tell you, whether it's that little old lady in the restaurant eating dinner by herself because her husband died, whatever it is, those people, we are all lonely. And I was lonely. I had a lot of meals by myself this week. It was lonely. And if somebody would have walked up and said, can I sit down and have a chat with you? They'd have been dead. No, it would have been awesome. But nobody ever does that with me. That's unbelievable. I'm like a person repellent. But the fact of the matter is, I know that that's human beings. Robin, can you try talking again? And Pat Kendall, can you speak? Can you just say hi, Tom? Hi, Pat.
Hey, Tom.
How are you doing? Can you tell us a story about how it's going for you?
Well, it is going awesome. I spent a week in Indianapolis with my son, and talked to a lot of people up there. And then on the way back, we stopped at a barbecue and had barbecue in the afternoon. And I looked over and there were 6 guys sitting at a table and they all had on yellow shirts. And I said, aha, this has got to be a golf team. So I walked over and just simply asked them, I said, hey, who had the best round today? And they said, all pointed at this one guy, and he kind of blushed and said, yeah, it was me. And so I ended up giving them sample packs of Rebound, talked to the coach, gave him the information sheet on Rebound, told him that there were no banned substances, it was all good. And then I told him the story about a gentleman that used Rebound the first time and ran his personal best in a 10K. And all of the guys at the table said, how do I take it? They didn't even question what it was or anything else. They'd been using a Propel product, one of the Pepsi products. And after the coach looked down the list of ingredients in the Rebound, he just said, man, this stuff's awesome. He said, we will try it and I'll give you a call.
Well, you are one of the most out there guys in longevity, and we really appreciate your diligence. We appreciate your coffee shop interviews. Watching you go through your life is fantastic, and thank you. So now, can you go ahead?
Just real quick on the text I sent you today is I was with Ivan, and he was with the gentleman he had spoken to, so I just dropped in and started the CSI with the 2 of them, so to speak, and we ended up with the gentleman on a 3-way on Thursday. So that's what we're looking forward to with you.
Well, I'm in town. Send me the interview, and aren't you happy seeing what's going on with Ivan? Because Ivan has been paralyzed, I think, for quite a while. And now we can't slow him down either because he saw you get involved. And with your involvement, he said, if Pat can do it, I can do it. If all those people can do it, I can do it. And here we are, right?
Well, I tell you what, if I can do it and Ivan can do it, then anybody can do this. And I mean, it truly is. It takes perseverance. They always say you got to be able to do it wrong long enough until you get it right. And I mean, that's the simple truth is don't worry about doing it wrong. Just do it wrong long enough until you start getting better. And then once you start getting better, you'll get better again. And by the time you talk to, I've talked to right at 80 people now. And I am loving getting to know people again. I have been somewhat introverted, so to speak, in my business. And now I'm out there. This has loosened me up. I'm enjoying myself. I don't mind interrupting people. I do it gently. I offer them a conversation, like somebody said in the CSI or 65 today, that it really is something that people look at you and just start telling you their life because nobody's asked them lately. It's amazing that people want to share themselves with you if you'll allow them to be.
And what do you get out of reading other people's posts and all that?
I see people, it's really neat. I see people that are struggling on their first day. I see people that are struggling on their 40th day, as Lanny said. And then I see people that are conquering it as they go. And then they'll have an oops in the middle. I've had a couple of them. One guy just basically slammed the door in my face and said, I don't want to know any more about it. I don't do MLM. I'm never going to do it. And I ended up with a conversation for another 15 minutes with him,
I bet you did.
Well,
right.
So what? I ain't got too much time to be concerned. But Will Rogers, I'm from Oklahoma. And Will Rogers, I twist his a little bit. It's kind of like I have met people I don't like, but I've never met somebody I couldn't talk to.
We love you. All right, man. We thank you so much, Pat Kendall. You guys look, and when you're on 65 and a wake up, comment. I mean, it means the world to these people to not be alone out there. And it takes guts to be in there. And, 2 interviews a day. Every one of you are completely capable of that. But it takes guts. And the more that you get reinforced and realize that you're not the only one that's scared, the better. Now, we did a whole bunch of interviews. We just had a blast down. I don't know if you guys saw us jump off that building. That was pretty fun. But the entire trip was so doggone fun. And my sidekick in that whole deal was the one and only Sean Brown. Sean, how are you?
I'm good, Tom.
How was it? Did you have fun?
We had a ton of fun. That's an understatement, right? incredible couple of weeks. So it's really great.
Would you tell me a story about some Uber coffee shop interviews?
Well, I don't know how much you've told. My favorite one was the guy that is working in. He was an Uber driver, of course, but he was a young kid that kind of had an IT job before that. Anyways, we're talking to him. We're getting to know him. I'm in the front seat. Tom's in the back seat, and with Colleen Walters, and we're all talking to him. And him and Tom are kind of jabbing back and forth. Tom's trying to talk to him, and the kid's really funny. He's super outgoing, and they're kind of having a good time, but they're both kind of yelling at each other jokingly. And so I say to him,
"Hey, no, because he's driving a Prius, right?"
Yeah, he's driving a Prius, and he's ripping on Tom for his Tesla. He's saying that who's going to come pick you up when your Tesla breaks down? And Tom's like, I make enough money, I'll just buy a new one. So they're going back and forth. The kid is talking trash. He's overly cocky. I know, shocking, Mr. Millennial, but he's got the confidence and he's rocking and rolling. And he says to Tom, he says, what did he say? He said, Tom asked, he says to me, what do you do? And I said, well, we're in network marketing. He says, what's that? And he caught me off guard because I haven't been asked like, what's that in a long time. And he said, and I said, well, we basically buy products and then we sell them for a profit. And Tom says to the guy, no, Sean, you idiot. That's a grocery store. And I was completely embarrassed. And then he says, no, seriously, what do you do? And Tom says, well, we help people in dead-end jobs like Uber, coming from another dead-end job, looking for another dead-end job to actually get in a place where they can make some money and have some influence. The guy says...
The guy said what?
Yeah, nothing. That was just
it was
funny.
A great
it was just
Uh-oh, we're losing him. Muted, Marianne. You got him muted? Look how much he's still laughing, and he's so cute. And another guy was so great because I asked him what he does in his spare time, and he goes into this whole crazy romance diatribe about his wife. And we are like putting our fingers over our ears going, no, we don't want to know that. What's like your hobby? And it was so funny listening to that guy. We kind of crossed him off the list as a prospect. But what I'm trying to tell you is literally everywhere we went. And Julia Foister is this woman down there that she and Colleen Walters decided to get in 65 and a wake up. And Julia didn't have her second interview, and she's like 35 and just a mom and cute as a button. But here comes this waiter who's a model, who's 21 years old. So I decided to help her interview that waiter, and it was the funniest, it was just great. And, it's just so fun to unmute Sean again. I think he's out of that bad zone. It is so fun just to have fun, you guys. Uh-oh. Sean, can you hear us? How could he not have?
I can.
Yeah. Okay, so Sean, what about social selling? We're doing a big training this weekend. We had beautiful Kelly Saunderson came in. She was tremendous. I think he's still muted. Okay, so talk to him about social selling real quick before we let him go.
Well, can you hear me okay, Tom?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the social selling model, right, is a hybrid model that I think is widely misunderstood by many. Here's the facts. Party Land is kind of struggling, going away. Network marketing is actually changing.
This is painful. You gotta tell me you can't
We'll
hear.
get him out of there.
the more customer focused you are about finding business. Okay, sorry.
That's all right.
Do you hear me okay?
No, you're going. We're going to let you go. So that sucks, but you're going. We've been fired. So Marianne, mute him and mute somebody else who is making noise.
It's Pat. Can you mute Pat, please?
Pat Kendall, mute him. All right. So anyway, you guys, Saturday is going to be unbelievable. It is going to rock your world. John Clark, I mentioned your name. I don't know if you're on here, but I did forget you. It's great. It is happy. It is working out there, and every one of you guys are doing a great job. Denise and I are committed to making this thing even better for you. You have no idea, and we're waiting for nobody. I guess the new the new contest this month is based on the Rev and the spices. So I don't know if you've seen that promotion yet, but you might want to take a look, because I think if you buy a bottle of Rev, they give you a bottle of spices. If you buy 3 bottles of Rev, they give you 3 bottles of spices. And if you buy 4 bottles of Rev, you get 4. And if you buy 8, you get 8. And if you buy 16, you get 16. I'm kidding. Whatever it is, it sounds to me like it's 1 for 1, but whatever it is, it's a 1, 2, 3 deal. But yeah, so try those spices out, man. And I don't cook. I have no idea what we're going to do with those things, but Denise will have a blast with them. Have you tried them yet, honey?
No, I have not tried them yet. Okay. The only one that I got, they gave me a coffee rub for. I have not used that one.
You know, you brought that to the office, and just smelling that made my mouth water. So it smells like it would be really good.
Well, you know what I'm excited about is that I can totally see in the new house, I'm going to have one drawer for spices, and I'm going to have them, you know, make them so that they all stand sideways so you can see the name. I have it all planned out.
I'm not too sure about having Sanjeev giving you a coffee rub.
Oh, no, it's not for people.
Oh, okay, well, I don't know what they are. Oh, so what are they?
I guess you could. It's actually, I've heard you can use coffee rubs to help with sunlight.
All right. All right. Anybody else got anything they want to talk about? We've got an hour in here. Let's go to Thursday night, Pamela Schwartz. I'm taking it personally. I was even on there from Australia. You got to get on here. We've got to become professional network marketers, you guys. It is. This is Harvard. She went to Harvard. This is a textbook. She is a teacher. This is your chance to learn this so you can teach it. You got a chance to get this information from somebody. They probably do. The caps, the spices probably cap at 3. So but the point I make to you is get on that GoPro book study on Thursday nights. It's unbelievable. You have to do it. She's got that thing dialed in. It's interactive. It is fantastic. And do it. So please, please, please. Anybody else got any questions? Okay, Tommy Martin, hug your wife.
Just
get her better.
This, Tom. The spices and that promotion for the Rev is only until the end of this month. It's only till the 31st of October.
Okay, good. All right. For us, that's an eternity. Okay, this week, you guys, talk to your teams about getting engaged. Just do that. Just talk to them and say, what's it going to take? I want you to watch me on the 65 and a Wake Up. I want you to engage with me. I just saw Dustin Britton talk about Kelsey Britton. I just saw people, I'm watching you guys with your organizations talk about you. I'm watching you talk about your organizations. This is true and tried network marketing. If we can get everybody on this call to Brick Rank, which is senior associate, if you can get and start building bricks, where you can teach people to build a brick, and then they know they can build a brick, they know they can build another one, all of a sudden everybody's going to have a foundation that's going to be over the moon. So I want that for you so badly. So I'm happy that I have an hour and a half between my next meeting. If anybody needs me between now and then, don't be afraid to call me. I know I've been out of touch all day. I was sleeping, but we are back in business. We are cooking with gas. Ann Parker, I love you. Let's go to work. I love you. Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys. Love you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Love you guys.
Really good talk.
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.